So in today's video, guys, as I promised in my last video in 2024, we're gonna have a look at my collection, which will include 244 pairs of shoes, which I've gathered in the last 4 years of YouTube, plus another 5 or 6 prior to YouTube, where, to be honest, I wasn't collecting as much. But before YouTube, I think I had around 50 pairs already, so I think I was like a small sneakerhead, but I wasn't too drawn to the more hyped releases, which, to be honest, were quite expensive. So let's not waste any more time, guys, and start with this row here, which will include mainly Nike and Jordan releases. So starting from the bottom, guys, we're gonna have this pair of foam shoes, which will be the ISPA Universal, which dropped around 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, and this one was the Nike's response to that very comfortable release coming from Yeezy for that foam runners, which is a comfortable release, but nowhere close to that Yeezy release. So most definitely this will be a very good option to the Yeezy foam runners and other foam releases which will be in my collection. So jumping now to the second one, guys. We're gonna have a release from Crocs in collaboration with Salehe Bembury for this Horchata one. So this one already dropped in the last 2 or 2.5 years in a lot of color combinations. I think I still have another 2 colorways in my collection, but I actually put them for sale. Jumping now to some proper pair of shoes, guys, we're gonna have this release of the Nike P6000 in this flat pewter, if I'm not mistaken for the name. This is something coming at around 100 pounds here in the UK, which for sure is like a pair of Vomeros, but cheaper, which has good materials, very good breathability. So for sure this one I managed to use it for a few times. So let's go ahead to the next one, guys, which will be one of 2 colorways which I have in my collection for this Nike Cortez in collaboration with Union LA. So this one, if I'm not mistaken, dropped around 3 years ago or 2.5 in a few color combinations. Out of all of them, I think this one I wore it 3-4 times. I also have that blue, yellow and pink colorway in my collection, but that one is not as easy to style it, so I think this one is the most wearable, at least in my opinion, from my collection. So jumping now to the next one, guys, we're gonna have this very nice pair of Nike Air Max 1, which will be this pecan and yellow ochre. This one I think dropped 3 or 4 years ago in a pack. We had another color combination. Most definitely this is one of my most interesting Nike Air Max in my collection, which, to be honest, I think I have just 3 or 4 altogether, but this one has quite nice materials, and I actually managed to get this one from StockX for a very good price. So jumping now to my Nike Dunk shelf, guys, we're gonna have this one in this blue and white colorway, which I actually made it on the Nike By You program, and for this one I think I paid like 20 pounds more than the normal price for this range. But most definitely this will bring so much better materials. I actually made another one in this green and white colorway as well, but at that time I think the options were a bit limited, so I couldn't choose the colors here at the color section. So yeah, even this one has been worn for a couple of times, but to be honest, most of my shoes coming from my collection, I barely wear them, as my daily job doesn't allow me to wear something else besides like formal shoes and a suit. So let's go ahead and jump to the next one, guys, which was actually a pair of Nike Dunk SBs, which I got it from the sneakers app when it dropped. So this one is the Nike Dunk SB Why So Sad, which was quite limited, around 3 years ago if I'm not mistaken. So this one has quite good materials. It has also this yellow Nike swoosh underneath this blue color. So if you want to just use some acetone or something, you can do it on both sides. I decided to make it just on the interior. Most definitely this is a nice release. So let's go ahead and jump to the next one, guys, which will be this pair of Nike Dunk Reverse Panda, which yet again, after the official release of the general releases, which had quite bad materials, I decided to go on the Nike by You again. And I've just done this one, which as I said earlier, will bring much better materials. Unfortunately, the rubber midsole doesn't have any improvement, so most definitely this is not gonna be too comfortable overall. So let's jump now to the next one, guys, which will be the normal pair of Nike Dunk Panda, which again was built on the Nike by You program. I think I actually wore it once or twice. Rather than that, it just sat on the shelf. Let's go ahead and go to the last Nike Dunk in my collection, at least on the shelf, which will be this Dunk Low Light Orewood, which dropped alongside that pair of industrial blue colorway. So this one will have this upper made out of this canvas material, which will make it a bit stiffer, but after a couple of wears this one will feel much better on foot. Most definitely the details for this one, guys, are quite nice, and I really like this one in this creamish color, off-white color. Nevertheless, quite nice. So now we can start with my Air Jordan collection, guys, which will be the low. So starting with the first one, we're gonna have this powder blue Jordan 1 low, which most definitely is looking quite nice, and it also has quite good materials as well. Let's jump to the next one, guys, which it's gonna be this black toe release, which I think is one of the most desired colorway for the Jordan 1 low, which got a re-release last year or even 2 years ago. Quite glad I have this one in my collection. So then we can go now to this UNC to Chicago, which, if I'm not mistaken, was a woman's release. But this one I really feel that has quite decent materials for all of the panels. And I think I managed to get this one for 50% discount around a year after the official release. So jumping now to the next one, guys, we're gonna have this bleached coral release, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think was the first release ever for me for a low version. And for this one I made a mistake. When I went on Sneakers app, I wasn't sure about the sizing, so I just went with my true to size in Nike. But I realized after I got them in that these ones are running quite big, and since then for the OG releases I'm going with a half size down, which fits me much better. Again, I think I wore it maybe 3 or 4 times, but this cracked leather most definitely is looking quite nice. So jumping to the next one, guys, we're gonna have this Atmosphere Grey colorway, which I think it dropped at the start of 2024. This one looks quite nice, it will bring quite good materials. So let's jump now to the last low, on my shelf at least, which will be this pair of Mystic Navy, which for sure looks quite good on foot. And yeah, once again, guys, this is in my collection, but I think I wore it again just 3, maybe 4 times. Nevertheless, quite a nice pair, guys. So now we can jump to the high releases, guys, from my collection. So we're gonna have this pair of Jordan 1 High Bordeaux, which I need to admit that it just sat on my shelf, and this leather started to go yellow. I'm not entirely sure if I like it. Maybe I'm gonna put this one for sale. I think I actually managed to wear them once, maybe. Not entirely sure. So jumping now to the next one, guys, we're gonna have this Jordan 1 High in this dark Marina colorway, which again dropped around 3 years ago. Quite good materials, but for sure other releases had better. I really feel that these blue overlays are a bit stiffer, but this combination, black and blue, for sure it's quite a nice one. So going to the next one, guys, we're gonna have this UNC toe, which not entirely sure when it dropped, but still looks quite good. I managed to hit on these ones, I think on the sneakers app, so quite glad I have it in my collection, but sad to say I actually didn't wear these ones at all. So going now to the next one, guys, another one which has a very nice color combination will be this Jordan 1 High Taxi, which dropped 2.5 years ago, something like that, in the summer. Again, this one I didn't manage to wear it at all, but most definitely I'm glad I have it in my collection. So going to the next one, guys, again a Jordan 1 High in this COGP, the Tokyo release. I just took it out of impulse. Again, I didn't wear it at all, and now I don't actually like it at all, so for sure this one will go for sale. Then continuing with another pair of Jordan High, we're gonna have this Zoom Comfort 2. Besides the normal Jordan 1 Highs, they actually decided to give us also the Zoom Comfort releases as well, which I have one in a box. I will show you quite shortly. So that will have some slightly different materials and Zoom Air sole unit at the heel section, which will make it slightly a bit more comfortable than the normal release, which will also bring quite good materials, and it will also be a bit more cheaper than a normal Jordan 1 High. Continuing with the Jordan 1 Highs, I also have here the Lucky Green release, which yet again didn't manage to wear it at all, but most definitely this is one of the nicest colorways which dropped for this range. So let's jump now to the next one, guys, which I think I bought it in my first year after starting the YouTube channel. So this one will be the Pine Green colorway, which I got it from StockX, and this one I paid more than £300. I was quite pleased with the materials which this one brings, and green and black, it's a very nice and wearable color combination. Of course I paid way too much for this release, but for sure it's one of my favorite pairs of Jordan 1s in my collection, and this one I actually managed to wear it for a couple of times. So let's go now to the next one, guys, which will be this Jordan 1 High Patina, which will have a very nice mix of materials and colorways as well. So this one, I need to admit that I actually wore it for maybe 10-15 times. So most definitely this is one of my favorite Jordan 1 Highs in my collection. So let's go now to my last one, guys, which I have it on the shelf. So this is the Electro Orange. If I'm not mistaken, this one dropped around 3 years ago, maybe more. Again, on the sneakers app I managed to get my hands on it, and very nice colorway in this orange, white and black colorway, which it's very close to that shattered backboard, which it's making a comeback this year, but at least this one I managed to wear it for a couple of times. So finishing now with my last two pairs, guys, I have here the Jordan High in this Gore-Tex release, which will be the waterproof. So I first bought this one, which I just said I'm not gonna care if I'm gonna step in puddles or whatever mud. I wear it for a lot of times, as here in the UK we have bad weather most of the times, and after a year or maybe 2 years ago we got this release, which most definitely it's one of my favorite. If you have the chance to go for the Gore-Tex, as you might live in a wet country like UK, most definitely you need to have at least one pair of Jordan 1 High Gore-Tex into your collection. So now, guys, I will show you what I have in the boxes above my shelves. So the first one will be this pair of Jordan 1 Low to my first coach, which dropped in 3 versions if I'm not mistaken. So we had this low one, we had the high as well. For both of them I dropped a review, and we also had like a mid which dropped just for women. Most definitely this is one of the most interesting releases, which I think it dropped to celebrate Michael Jordan's coach, which has quite good materials, but as this one has that color section a bit raised, at least for me it really bothered my ankle. So unfortunately this one I didn't manage to wear it at all. So going now to the next one, guys, we're gonna have a pair of Jordan 1 mids, which I know everyone is hating on. So this one, I bought it, I think, when I started the YouTube channel. I just wanted a pair of Jordan 1 mid in a full white colorway. I wore it for a couple of times. It's not a bad release, but for sure I do prefer the highs more than the mids. Going to the next one, guys, we're gonna have another pair of mids, which will be the denim version. This one has a very interesting mix of materials. As you can see, we're gonna have this denim in this blue colorway, which will have this suede overlays. Most definitely this is an interesting one. So jumping now to some of my most interesting releases which are in my collection. As you probably know already, this is one which I've been eyeing for a lot of time. So this one will be the Lost and Found Jordan 1 High, which I think I bought it around a year and a half ago after they made a re-release. So I think this one I actually managed to get it from StockX for maybe around 350 pounds, which yeah, it's a lot, but I think if you are a proper sneakerhead, you need to have this one into your collection. So going now to my next one, guys, as I said earlier, we had like a Jordan 1 High Zoom Comfort, which will have some slightly better materials and a better comfort overall comparing with the normal Jordan 1 High. So most definitely this is a very interesting one, which will have a mix of very soft leather in this gray color with this suede material in this black color. We're also gonna have a very well padded tongue. So this one, it's a very comfortable one, guys. In case you are not a big fan of the Jordan 1 High in general, this most definitely will change your mind. This one feels much better on foot. Even though the midsole is completely unchanged, this upper makes a huge difference. So let's go now to the next one, guys, which again will be another pair of highs. You probably know by the box. This is the Jordan 1 High collaboration with Union LA, which dropped back in 2023 if I'm not mistaken. This one has one of the most interesting design which happened for this range with this very nice and big stitching. We're also gonna have quite good materials as well. This one, I think I wore it maybe 2 times. Again, besides that Lost and Found release, this is another one which you need to have into your collection. So now, guys, we can actually go to some lows which dropped in the last year. Yeah, in the last year. The most recent one will be this Game Royal, which dropped I think a month, 2 months ago, something like that. Most definitely this has a very nice color blocking. Unfortunately, as I said in the review for this one, the white leather bits could have been better. Nevertheless, this one I actually managed to get it the other week on sale with 30% off. So yeah, just search for it. This one is already on sale. I also put some sale laces to match with this midsole. So most definitely I'm glad that I have this one in my collection. Jumping to another great release from back in the fall, if I'm not mistaken, the Mochas. Again, another nice drop which has quite good materials. For sure this one looks quite good, and I don't know what happened here, but as I'm driving, these ones are a bit dirty. Again, I have opted to go for the sail laces, which are working perfect with this midsole. So another great release. Unfortunately, this one I didn't manage to get it on sale, but I'm not mad at it. This one is again another must for any collector. And then the last pair of Jordan 1 lows, guys, which dropped middle of the summer. The Jordan 1 low Barons, a nice drop, which I think I got lucky. I got into a raffle for these ones for 115 pounds. Usually they are coming for 145. Most definitely a very nice drop. From what I can see, I never wore them, so they're like brand new, but I don't think I'm gonna sell these ones. The materials are actually quite nice, and for 115, yeah, I have it in my collection. I'm quite glad. So that's my first shelf, guys, sorted. Let's go ahead and start with the second one, which will include a mix of brands. So starting at the bottom, we're gonna have the very well-known Yeezy slides, which started all of this revolution with the foam shoes. This one, you could get it around 3-4 years ago in all of the colors desired for around 50 pounds. This one is still one of the most comfortable, or maybe the most comfortable release ever for a pair of slides. Unfortunately, the collaboration between Yeezy and Adidas has come to an end, and this one you can just find it on the secondary market, and I'm glad that I managed to get this color into my collection. Then next to it, guys, I have again another famous release, the Yeezy Foam Runners, which I think this is one of the most expensive colorways which you can find it now on the secondary market. Again, this one started alongside the Yeezy slides, this revolution with the foam shoes. I still feel that this one has a futuristic design, and it's quite comfortable. Unfortunately, I don't like this part here at the front with this bulge over your foot. But if you can get over it, most definitely this is again one of the most comfortable releases coming from Yeezy. So jumping now to my second shelf, we're gonna have some releases coming from Represent, which will be a British company. So this one will be the Represent Raptor Low, if I'm not mistaken. This one dropped around 2 years ago. A lot of color combinations, quite good materials. The price is a bit too high, to be honest, not for my liking or anyone's liking, but I managed to get these ones on sale. So most definitely this is an interesting one. I also have the new one, guys, which dropped back in 2024. So this one is the Represent Raptor 2. It's nowhere close to the one which I've just showed you. This one got more chunkier, heavier. The materials, I wouldn't say that they got better. These ones feel like it's synthetical everywhere. But at least we have now some mesh material at the tongue and also in the midfoot, which will help with the breathability. But most definitely this one got a bit heavier, so if you're not a big fan of heavy shoes, this is not for you. But overall, this one, again, for 50% off, most definitely it's worth it, but full price, don't go near it. Then, as the third one, this is something which I bought, I think, in the first year of my YouTube channel. This is called the Represent Apex. As I said earlier, this brand has actually quite good materials, a nice design, but their midsoles are actually quite heavy. So this one, I think I wore it like 2 or 3 times. Most definitely I don't like this heavy midsole, so I think this one will go for sale. So going now to my next shelf, guys, I'm gonna have here the Nike Huarache, which was a special edition, like I think Berlin or London. I'm not entirely sure, but this one will be a bit more different to your normal Huarache. Will have much nicer materials. Of course, the midsole, everyone knows from the Huarache range that it's very comfortable. These ones are also quite lightweight. Going now to my next one, guys, I have this pair of Nike Free Run Trail, which again was a special edition. I think they dropped on the sneakers app. As you can see, this one has some very nice leather on top of the mesh. We're also gonna have this very nice lacing system. So even though this one it's not something hyped, I really like it. It's very comfortable. I have some other Nike Free Runs in my collection anyway, so I knew exactly what I'm going for, and this one most definitely it's one of the nicest Nikes into my collection. Going now to my next one, guys, it's gonna be the Nike Blazer Jumbo, which dropped around 3 years ago. When they dropped, I went a bit mad and I took like 3 colorways altogether. But this is a very nice drop, which now I think you can buy it for 50 to 60 pounds. When they dropped, they were like 100 pounds. Unfortunately, the materials are not that great, but it's still a nice pair of Nikes. Going now to my next shelf, guys, we're gonna have the Response CL coming from Adidas. This is a special edition. It has some Cordura materials which are a bit more resistant to wear and tear. It's really comfortable. Then the next one, guys, coming from Adidas, it's the Gazelle Indoor, which was a special release. I actually went around 2 years ago for my birthday and I traded in some points for this one. To be honest, since then I didn't see at all this materials combination coming from them, but I think this one was something which was available just in stores for people trading points for them, so I'm glad that I have this one into my collection, even though I think I wore it 2 times. So going now to the next one, guys, you probably know this is the NMD S1. As you might know, the NMD range in general dropped around maybe 10 years ago. I might be mistaken, but around 3 to 4 years ago they've introduced this NMD. I actually have a second one here. Even the shoes are quite heavy, and it's because that boost inside it's encapsulated in this very thick rubber. But it was very interesting when I got it. I was excited and I also bought this one. I think I bought it on sale. I don't actually like them anymore. They feel a bit too heavy on my foot. They are still quite interesting, guys, and yeah, I have 2 colorways into my collection. So jumping now to my next one, guys, we're gonna have the Nike Zoom Vomero 5. Again, everyone needs to have a Vomero 5 into their collection. This is one of the most comfortable releases coming from Nike in the last 3-4 years, with this classic design. Very comfortable, very nice color, so yeah, very glad that I have this one. I actually have another Vomero into my collection, which is a special edition. We'll get to that in around half an hour or so. Then jumping to something a bit more hyped, which dropped when was it? Fall? I think fall. Jordan 3 Nina Chanel Abney. Very nice one, guys. This one, it's one of my favorite Jordans into my collection. Very nice colorway. Not that comfortable, but most definitely a must if you are a collector. Jumping now to my slightly hyped shelf. I'm gonna have the A Ma Maniére 4s, which dropped 3 years ago. Yeah, I paid a lot of money for this one and I'm wearing them. I don't care, I like these ones. I also put these sail laces to match with the midsole. Not a comfortable pair, but very nice materials, a very nice interior. I love these, even though they are not comfortable. Again, you need to have some A Ma Manières into your collection. And I couldn't have just one pair. I bought, like maybe before the 4s, the Jordan 1 A Ma Manières with this cracked leather. I really like the design from the A Ma Manières. So yeah, this is one of the most expensive ones into my collection. I think I paid just over 300 pounds, but this is something different. Most definitely you need to have it. Then going to the Bad Bunny shelf, guys, released end of summer, I guess. The Gazelle Indoors, Benito. Very nice colorway, very nice materials, very comfortable. They run a bit big, so maybe go a half size down. Very nice one. Then the Campus coming from Adidas and Bad Bunny. I've tried to get that full cream colorway, but very expensive. This one, to be honest, I think I found it by mistake on End Clothing when I'm doing most of my shopping. I was scrolling, I saw it's available in my sizing, placed an order. 2 days later I have it in my collection. And then one of my favorite colorways coming for the Response CL, Adidas and Bad Bunny. This is my favorite, very comfortable, very nice colorway, very good price as well if you manage to get it on retail. It's not bad for a very summerish wearable pair of shoes. Then going now, guys, to the Yeezy shelf. The 350s Beluga, dark Beluga if I'm not mistaken. 350s, most definitely you need to have at least 1 or 2 colorway into your collection. This is Most definitely one of the most interesting releases ever coming from Adidas and Yeezy. Then the next one, guys, 380s, if I'm not mistaken. This one is also glow in the dark. Most definitely a very interesting one and a comfortable one. Then my first pair of Yeezys, which I need to admit that it was a gift from my wife. This was my first pair of Yeezys ever, which still looks quite good after 3.5 years. I wore them a lot, but I didn't damage them. They are still quite comfortable, they are quite nice looking. I just love them. These will sit into my collection until they just fall apart. So 350 yet again, guys. Then jumping to my next shelf, another pair of very comfortable pair of Nikes, an ISPA. Not even sure how these ones are called, but to be honest, I don't like this colorway anymore. They are comfortable, very breathable. For sure I would prefer to have this one in another color combination. I think this one will go for sale. Then what we have here, guys, we have the Nike Sakai Vapor Waffle. Very interesting one. We had 3-4 color combinations. Managed to get this one, stayed into my collection. I wore it a lot, very comfortable, very good, very nice looking. I would have preferred another colorway, a bit more lighter, but I can't complain. This is a very comfortable one. Prior to that Vapor Waffle, managed to get this Nike and Sakai blazer. I think we had at that time every month another colorway. This was the only one which I managed to get it on Sneakers app. Going now to the last shelf, guys, a pair of New Balance. This is the XC72. I actually have another one. That's a normal one. This is the Gore-Tex one. As I said earlier, in UK it's raining almost every day, so you need to have as much Gore-Tex releases into your collection. Most definitely this XC72, it's quite an interesting one. So yeah, a very nice one. Alongside this one I have two other. This is the New Balance 9060. I just kept this workwear and the Bodega collaboration. These two, yeah, I wore them. I like them. Very comfortable, very nice color combination. I think I have another 1 or 2 colorways which I need to drop the review for them. I'm telling you now, you need to have a 9060, at least one colorway into your collection. This is one of the most comfortable and good looking and very stable pair of New Balance. Going now on top. So starting at the top, guys, I have a pair of Nike Vapor Waffle. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but I found it on the Nike website around 2 years ago. Let's look at the materials. We have this plasticky mesh material with this very hairy suede, a very nice and comfortable release. Let's go to the next one, guys. This is gonna be a long video, that's for sure. What we have here? Oh yeah, Nike Air Max Scorpion. Around 2 years ago, Nike has decided to give us a new Air Max, and it was the Scorpion, which dropped in 5-6 colorways. Managed to get this one. I still have it into my collection, and it seems that I wore them a couple of times. Jumping to the next one, guys, another pair of Nike ISPA called the Sense Flyknit. Wow, I forgot about these ones. I knew I have something from ISPA, but the ISPA always has a very interesting design. It's something like the Y-3 releases coming from Adidas and Yohji Yamamoto, but this is like so many leftover materials used together to create a pair of shoes, which I need to admit, it's interesting. It's not for everyone. I like it, I still have it, never wore them, which I think it's a shame. Jumping now to a very recent purchase, guys. I said, you know what, it's time to pull the trigger, so I did. The Jordan 6 Travis Scott, very nice, has very good materials. It's an expensive one on the secondary market. As I said earlier, it's very nice, but it's not comfortable, so that's why I never wore it. So it's very possible that if I'm not gonna wear those in the next 2 to 3 months, they will just go for sale. So going now to the next one, guys, Nike Air Max 1 Premium. Yeah, this is one of my favorite Nike Air Max, dropped in 2024, called Keep Ripping, Stop Slipping. So this one dropped, I think, middle of the year. Very nice materials, very hairy suede. This leather material in the midfoot and at the back, it's synthetic, but the rest of them are looking quite good. A very nice pair of Air Max. As I said earlier, I don't have too many. I think I have 3 or 4 altogether, but yeah, this one is my favorite and I wear it a couple of times anyway. Going now to the next one, guys, which I dropped a review and I also bought it last year. Nike Air Zoom Type. I think I actually dropped a review for one of these in the first or second year of YouTube in another colorway, in that gray colorway. I was very impressed with it. Even now in 2025, if you manage to get this one, guys, your mind will be blown away. This is so comfortable, so lightweight. We're gonna have the Air Zoom and this very squishy midsole. So let's jump now, guys, to my Adidas and Yeezy and Y-3 shelf. So let's start at the bottom where we're gonna have some boxes. I have a pair of Converse. This is the Converse Chuck 70. I dropped a review for it. Very nice. Makes you tall, so if you are a short guy, most definitely this will help. Canvas upper, very squishy and comfortable midsole. Going now to the next one, guys, a pair of Nikes, which is called the Waffle 1. So this is something which I've bought in the second or third year of YouTube, after I actually made one in the Nike Bayou program. Found this one on sale, 50%. Very nice design, very comfortable, quite cheap, so still one of my favorite releases coming from Nike. Going to the next one, guys, it's a pair of, what is this? Air Max Fly Knit Racer. Oh boy. Yeah, it was a full show with this one, guys. When they dropped around 3 years ago, I think. Not sure if you can still find it now, but it's still quite an interesting one. Then going to my only on running release from my collection, guys, we're gonna have this Cloudaway. Very comfortable, very nice lacing system. For sure I got it on sale. So yeah, this one is quite nice. Going now to the next one, guys, it's a pair of Mount to Coast, which is the P1. Yeah, this one I got it last year from Mount to Coast. It was sent to me to do a review. I was actually quite impressed. Quite lightweight, very comfortable, quite good materials. The price is not that bad. These guys are actually new on the market, but I was impressed with it. It really felt, I think I dropped the review for this one exactly when the Ultra Boost 5 just dropped. I felt that this one was a bit better. Going to the next one, guys. Nike Bayou. As I said earlier, the Waffle 1. I made this one. Then I bought that one in green and cream. Very comfortable. Not entirely sure if you can still find it now. Going to a pair of Human Race Sikona. Adidas and Pharrell Williams for the Human Race. It's so comfortable. I actually bought a second colorway, guys, which is the blue one. Again, Human Race, Icona, Adidas and Pharrell. I think you can still find them on the secondary market. If you can manage to get a good price, go for it. Very comfortable. One of my favorite in my collection, Adidas Forward. I think this is the one. I had it in white, it started go yellow, sold it, bought the black one, never used it. But I have it into my collection. And that was shortly after I took this for the Fusio. I think this is bought in the first year of my YouTube channel, and I made a review where I actually cut this skirt, which at that time was coming all the way here, and I really didn't like it. It just felt off, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna cut this off and make these ones look so much better, which now you can see that we have exposed this 4D pattern. This is one of my favorite 4Ds ever. It looks so nice, even these colorways, which are quite vibrant. I know they are not for everyone, but it's one of my favorites. So now guys, we can start with the Yeezy shelves. Yeah, 350. This one was a US drop. I had to take it. I really liked it. When I saw that this one is coming, I said, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna pay resale. I got it. I was like, oh my god, what did I do? I hate this colorway now. It feels so much, it feels exactly like this pair of NMD. This blue, it feels like it's just faded. I don't like it anymore. I think this, I'm gonna sell this one. I don't like it anymore. I love the model, but not this color. Then we have the 700s Vantas. For sure I got this one from Confirmed. One of the most comfortable. One of my favorite 700s. Then I also took this 700s MNVN. I think this one was the first which I reviewed on the channel, and I actually kept it. It was something different, still quite comfortable. Not the biggest fan of this nylon on top, but it's something different, so you know what, I just kept a pair. I think it's enough. One pair of this into my collection is enough. Then, as I said earlier, you need to have at least one pair of 350s. So I have this one, which I need to admit that when I got it, this midsole was white. Now it's yellow. I don't hate it, I actually love it more. Of course, I also had to take the black colorway, which feels like a very dark gray. Very easy to style it, very nice. Again, another 350, so I have 3 altogether. Actually, you know what? I have 4. I also have this one. I'm not entirely sure how it's called. The Static, guys. This is the Static. I think I got it last year on restock on Confirmed app. Didn't manage to wear it. I think I put it for sale. Then going to the next shelf, guys, Yeezy 500s. I wore these ones a lot. They are still looking great. I love the materials, the comfort. A lot of people don't like the 500s. They feel like they are too chunky. But this adiprene material for the midsole, which is very comfortable, combined with this very nice materials for the upper, makes this one very comfortable. So have just one into your collection. Doesn't matter what color you go for, just have one. You'll be impressed. So because I loved that colorway, I also went for the utility black one. And this one, I think last year I got the restock again. This is the bone white, unused. But yeah, I have gray, black and white. So as I said, you need to have at least one pair. I have 3. And when the 500s were on the roll, we also had the 500s high. I dropped a lot of reviews, guys. Some of them had the worst colorways. I need to admit that Some of them were just awful, but this one, in my opinion, just looks nice. Then going to some of my most interesting releases coming from Yeezys, and I think everyone will agree with me. We're gonna have the Yeezy 450, which was, I think when they dropped, everyone was very curious about them. Of course, I had to pay resale for them, but I think I paid just for 2 colorways. So this dark slate one, then we had the cloud white, if I'm not mistaken with the name, which I need to admit that started to go a bit yellow, but it still looks quite good. And quite recently, I think I've bought it either from Adidas. I managed to take a 3rd colorway, which very cheap, guys, like 45 pounds or around 50 something dollars, the gray colorway. So altogether, I think that this one is still quite an interesting one. So most definitely the 450s are quite interesting even now in 2025. Then now we can go to the 700s V3, guys. I think all of them which I have into my collection are glow in the dark. I know for sure these 3 are glow in the dark. So they don't have the best comfort, but I love the design. Let's go now above, guys, starting with something which I've bought recently, the Vapor Max in this blue colorway. I think I also have a black colorway as well, somewhere. Next to it, yeah. So I bought this one. This is the latest Vapor Max. I think it's the 2023. Yeah, 2023 Flyknit Vapor Max. I bought this one, which I didn't use at all, but very comfortable. I still have the first Vapor Max and the second one. I'll show you in a couple of minutes. And then shortly after that, I saw someone in my line of work. I'm going a lot of times into the airports. I saw one guy middle of the winter wearing these in shorts. Crazy. You know what? I loved it. I saw this colorway and I said, you know what? I'm gonna take it. It feels like a bit of a purple. But oh my god, this looks so nice. They are so comfortable. Going now to the NMD range, guys. This is something which I think I found it by mistake. I think it was on Adidas website. NMD R1 Terrain, which has this very nice mud guard, the ripstop, boost, and this continental grippy outsole. One of my favorites. They are so comfortable. And nothing got yellowed, so yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Okay, the interesting part, guys. I have the Y-3. This is the Shiku Run. Wore them a couple of times. Mix of mesh and white leather. All of it being white. I love it. And I have the Ajatu Court High. A very interesting one. A bit heavy, but I said I need to have diversity from Y-3. Going to the next Y-3 in my collection, the Forum High, guys. This is again a very nice. So Y-3 in general brings premium materials, but premium prices as well. But as I said earlier, wait for a couple of months, get them on sale. Look at this. Does this look like a Forum? Then I think I've bought this one in the summer, just before. Y-3 Kaiva. Full leather at the front and in the midfoot. Neoprene at the back. Pointy shape. The leather is so premium. And this is, it looks so futuristic, even though I think this one got released for the first time like 10 years, maybe more. So going to the last one, guys, which again, my favorite. The colorway, the model, the Y-3 Casa. Bit of leather here at the front and at the back. Gonna have this very wide elastic bands and this neoprene. This is my favorite Y-3 for summer to fall, with this tubular design for the midsole. Not everyone is a big fan of it, but this one looks so nice, guys. So to finish with that row, guys, I have two pairs of Adidas. One it's a Gazelle. I think I bought this one like 3 years ago, something like that, the normal Gazelles. I have a tracksuit for it, so normal Gazelles. You need to have some of these classics into your collection. And I think this is a recent buy on sale. SL72 RS. RS standing from remastered. We're gonna have a foam midsole which is higher and more comfortable, and a bigger toe section. Most definitely I will choose this over the normal SL72, which is very narrow and very uncomfortable. This is much better, and you have so many colorways nowadays. So now, as I finish with the rows, I have a lot of boxes next to me. So I'll start with the first one, which I think I actually put this one for sale. I've showed you earlier when I started the video the Union LA Nike Cortez. I bought this one just cause I could, but this pink and purple and yellow, not my favorite. Never wore them. These are going for sale. Still a nice one, but I prefer the cream one. Then this one was the first colorway for this New Balance Warped Runner. So I managed to get this one under retail after 1 year of waiting for restock here and there. Never happened. Went on StockX, bought it for under retail. So the next one, again, Ultra Boost Lego, which I decided that I don't like a white midsole, so I made it black. But I didn't wear them at all, so I'm gonna put these ones for sale. Going to the next one, guys. Retro P9 Boost, very nice one. This is up for sale. Then when I started the YouTube channel, I think in the second year, they've released this Adidas Forum 84 Minimalistic, which has a full leather upper, outside, inside, combined with this hairy suede. This is very nice. Yeah, I wore these ones 2 times. Next one will be some of my favorites, the Blazer Mid 77 Pro Club. So I think these ones, I bought them shortly after those Jumbos, and I think I bought these ones on sale. I still like them and I still wear them. Then a pair of Forum Highs. Oh my god, I love this. I bought it on sale. Look at these materials. Suede, hairy suede everywhere. I love this. And the colorway, it's something that you don't have to worry about getting dirty. Wow, this is one of my favorite releases for end of summer, start of fall. The Clima Cool 24, 3D printed. Didn't get the chance to wear them because it was cold here already. But I think I have in plan to make these stripes black. So soon on the channel, making these black, guys. I cannot wait for these ones to get onto my feet in the summer. Next one, guys. Crocs Salehe Bembury Juniper. I love this design. The materials are not what I expected. I thought that we're gonna have some maybe leather for this upper. I'm not mad that I didn't get it, but some leather would have made it a bit nicer. This very chunky midsole, it's adding a lot of weight. I'm not entirely sure if I like this, so I might put these ones for sale. As I said earlier, I don't have too many Air Max into my collection. I think this is the third one. Air Max 87, 86 OG with a big bubble. I had to get this one into my collection, guys. I think I actually managed to get this one on a restock. I got lucky. Love this one. Then something which everyone needs to have into their collection, Asics Gel NYC. I love this color. I'm planning to get a few more into my collection. This is quite comfortable, quite good materials. They're not too expensive, so most definitely you should think about getting one of these into your collection. Something which I managed to get on sale, on the black sale, Jordan 3 Grey Cement. I love this one. And on sale, guys. I managed to get it on sale. I love the color combination. Not the best comfort, but this one looks great. So if you are a fan of retros, you need to have this colorway. On the same Black Friday sale, I got this Converse Daily Paper. It's a bit chunky, it's a bit heavy, but it's different. So if you want to have something a bit different from Converse, this is one of the very few. Alongside the other one which I showed you like half an hour ago. Going now to something which I'm still yet to drop a review, guys. New Balance 1000 with kits. I've tried to drop my review for this, but I always had something newer coming in. I love this. I think I also have the $1 million into my collection. I'll show you in a couple of minutes. But this one, I think it's more wearable. I love this. I will drop a review in the next 1 or 2 weeks, something like that. And something I've bought, oh my god, this I've bought in the summer. I went on holiday in Italy. I went to an outlet, found these ones, which are pretty much close to that Bodega release, but this colorway, so nice, guys. And the materials, no buck all around, and some leather. Told you earlier, 1960, you need to have it in your collection. Then I showed you into my big unboxing, guys, the 500 tactical boots. I got these ones for 70 quid before Christmas, originally 300 pounds. So go to your Sports Direct and see if you can get a deal. These ones are quite comfortable. I'll drop a review again for this one, I think in the next week or so. And I've bought on the Black Friday sale, guys, Gender Run, 2 colorways, 50% off. So if I have a chance to get some Y-3s into my collection, I will always do. This is very futuristic, very comfortable. I had to get it in these colorways. There are more, but these are the ones which I like, so very nice ones. So now I finish with what I have in the back. Let's continue with this, which some of them are not that interesting, but I have them into my collection. Starting with the first one, guys, as I said earlier, a Zoom Vomero, a Tokyo release. Managed to get it under retail from StockX. Very nice and changed design comparing with the normal one. So very glad that I have this one. Then the next one, as I said earlier, the Huarache. I've showed you the black one, so this is the original one, even though it has slightly different materials. This is the Huarache Runner, which dropped in 2024. Then going to the next one, guys, a very nice drop from back in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, the Nike Air Dunk Jumbo, which will have a full length air sole unit inside. Everything is oversized, but one of my favorite colorways, which actually managed to get it from StockX. I don't think Nike has actually dropped this colorway here in the UK. Then the last one, guys, it's a pair of J-Force One, the Jacquemus release, which I managed to get it more than 50% off in an outlet. Going to the next one, guys, we're gonna have a pair of Fear of God Los Angeles. It dropped in few color combinations. I love it. Don't like this midsole too much. It's not that squishy, but the upper is very, very comfortable. And I have a pair of boots, I would say. This one will be the Fear of God 86 high. I love the materials, guys. Again, the midsole, not my favorite. It looks nice, but it's not that comfy. But this one and the previous one, I managed to get them on sale, so I don't really care that much. The materials are looking nice, the overall shoe as well. Going to the next one, guys. New Balance 2002. I think this has the protection pack, which looks quite nice. Has this ripstop, this very nice leather. So one of my favorite 2002. I think it's actually the only one into my collection, but yet again, I love it. Then going to another pair of New Balance, the 327, which is something a bit more different to other pairs which I have into my collection. This one has like a chiffon material with this very hairy suede and this used marks. Then going to another pair of New Balance. I thought that the box is empty, guys. So this is the Fuel Cell Rebel V4. So this one I got it again on sale end of summer. This is so lightweight. So this is a pair of running shoes for road, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't have too many of these, but this is one of the best and I love it. You need to have one of these if you are running at least once or twice a week. Going to another pair of New Balance, the $1 Million New Balance 1000, guys. I said earlier when I showed you that kit. This one, I think I found it by mistake on End Clothing. It was the only available pair after a month after the official release. Going now to another pair of New Balance, guys. I think this one dropped maybe 3 years ago. XC72 Casablanca. This looks mint, guys. Has this cream luxury design. One of my favorite in my collection for sure. Continuing with the next one. One of my favorite releases from 2024, the Adidas Aruku. New foam called Swirl Foam. Very lightweight, very bouncy. One of my favorite, guys. This one will be into my top 10 most comfortable releases. I will drop that review in the next couple of days. Then going to my Puma releases, guys. Something which made a return last year, the Puma Monstro, which I have it in this black and white perforated leather. Then in this blue colorway, which will be this very breathable mesh. And also in this ripstop material, in this white color. Yeah, very nice, guys. And from what I saw, few colorways dropped quite recently. I think I will take that camo one quite soon. Continuing with another Puma, I have the Speedcat, the Sparkle release. This is very luxury, guys. Very nice leather. It's actually a suede for all of the upper. I love this one, and I have another one into my collection, which is this one. I've bought it like 3-4 years ago, before this one made a comeback. I had this one in my collection when I was younger in another colorway, which made a comeback around 2 months ago. I have it here. If I'm not mistaken, it's this one. Yeah, this was around 20 years ago, maybe more. My first pair of original shoes. I loved it. I kept it for 3-4 years, trashed them, never found them again after. They were quite expensive anyway. The last Puma, which I have in a box, Easy Rider 2, 75 years celebration. Worn them once, loved them. They were quite cheap and very comfortable. Continuing with something which I've bought recently on the Black Friday sale, the North Face Glencliff Low. So this is a very comfortable pair of sneakers slash boots, which I think it's still on sale. Never had a pair of North Face. but this one is so comfortable. Keep in mind you need to go half size down. These ones are running big. Continuing with a pair of Ultra Boost, guys. This is an Ultra Boost 21 cold ready, guys. Of course, that year I bought a lot of Ultra Boost. One of it dropped only in US. When I saw it, I said, yeah, I need to have this one to my collection. The red one. Managed to get it before the release, if I'm not mistaken, for under retail. And this one never came here in the UK, so I was so excited to have this one into my collection. I wore it, I love it, which will be the case for the other one which I have in my collection, which is this. The Ultra Boost 21 in the white colorway. This was the original colorway to drop back in 2021, which changed completely comparing with the other Ultra Boost models. Okay, let's jump now to my last pairs, which I have them in some see-through boxes. So starting with a pair of Pumas I showed you earlier, the Speedcat, which made a comeback in 2024 in a lot of colorways. Not the most comfortable, but still in my collection. I love it. I have another pair which, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the Speedcat 2. I might be mistaken. This evolved from the previous one, the red one, a bit more pointier. Then unfortunately some names are slipping. This is a pair of Puma Cell, Liquid Cell, not entirely sure, but this is one of the most comfortable pairs of Pumas which I have in my collection. Then I have a pair of classic Pumas, Ralph Sampson. It might be this one. Very nice drop, not that comfortable, but the leather for this upper, very nice. You can use this one for so many outfits. Then at some point Puma made a collaboration with Helly Hansen in 2020 for this release. Not entirely sure how it's called. I'm really sorry, but some of them I really didn't care. I just bought them. Some of them I also bought them from outlets without boxes. But this one, it's very interesting. Puma and Helly Hansen. Then I have into my collection some shoes. Pumas, Puma Roma, BMW drop, which I also have it in black as well. Then I do have the Speedcat 2 again, BMW drop. In case you didn't notice, I'm a BMW fan. I also have the Speedcat, the normal one, BMW drop as well. If I'm not mistaken, this is like a speed racer, not entirely sure, guys. This one, bought it quite cheap. Don't like it at all now. I'm gonna sell it for sure. I also have it in this version with mesh and very nice overlays. Now we're gonna have a look at some New Balance which I bought, I think, before having my YouTube channel. So this is the New Balance 247 Deluxe. I took it in burgundy, then I took it in gray as well. Following year they had a 2.0 version, a London release, very different, but the same 247. I think everyone needs to have into their collection a 997H. This looks like a worn down. It's made on purpose. Wore them 3-4 times, but I like that they feel trashed. I don't need to worry about them. As I said earlier, the XC72, I bought this one first. I really felt that has a very good stability with this heel quite wide, quite good materials. I loved it, so that's why I took the Gore-Tex version as well. Then we also have this X Racer, which is a very cheap New Balance, but very comfortable, very lightweight, very breathable, perfect for summer. And I think when I started the channel I dropped a review for this one, but I don't remember what it's called. It's a pair of Jordans with the Airzone technology, with a very interesting design with this semi-transparent material, very breathable, very nice one. And now guys, we need to go upstairs. I have like 60 pairs, which were the original ones. Most of them are quite boring, but quite interesting and almost brand new. So let's go and see those ones in the other room. So continuing now in my second room, guys, which I have my shoes which I'm not using as much. So let's start with this pair, guys. I'm not entirely sure how this one is called. It's a Nike React, which I think it's maybe 7-8 years old. Most definitely it's still an interesting one, very comfortable, but this design is already quite old. And I have here a pair of Adidas Basketball Tubular, which has this very nice leather for the upper. I think this one I got it from an outlet. Then, as I said earlier, I still have a pair of the original Vapor Max, the first one. Then I also have the Vapor Max 2. I also had the 3, which had that strange lacing system, but I've sold it. Then I have into my collection this waffle racer, guys. I actually found this orange and blue one. Then I found this special release on the Nike website, which I need to admit that it's brand new. So this one will go for sale. Something which made a comeback around 2016-17, the Prestos in a mid-cut, which is still comfortable. Then I have a pair of Nike SB Blazers. Very interesting in this distressed look with this design. Very nice leather, I would say. Not wearing it as much, but a very interesting one. Then, as this is an old collection, the Air Max 2090, which I took it in 3 different colorways. This one, I have no idea what it's called, but it's very lightweight and it has a very interesting shape. For sure this is a pair of running shoes. So as I bought these ones in 2012, 2013, 2014, the Nike Free Run Flyknit. I took, I think, every year a different colorway and with some very minor changes. So I had this one. I think this was the previous one. I told you, different changes. This one was previous to the other two, which was a bit more wider, but with this very interesting midsole. And around 2 years ago we had this new design for this free run, which I need to admit that this one is one of my most comfortable releases, which I'm wearing every summer. Then I have this one, which it's very similar to that Nike Air Max Fly Racer. For sure it's inspired by this one. This is a Nike Air release. Can't remember the name at all, but still in my collection, quite comfortable, and I don't think I wore it more than 5-6 times. I also have a pair of classics, guys, which I think I dropped a review for it. Again, I don't remember the name at all, but looks quite nice. Very classic one with this waffle pattern. Then this pair of Air Max 97s. This one is 7 years old, and I still think that this design is quite futuristic and looks so good. Then another pair of free runs, which was dropped in 2018. So as I said earlier, the free run range got every year an update. At some point they just finished. 2 years ago they brought it back again. Last year we didn't have anything upgraded, so maybe this year we'll get something new. And I also have this half knitted release, which I'm quite impressed by it. This is a perfect summer shoe, which has a very good ventilation. It's very lightweight, so still one of my favorite releases in my collection. Continuing on the other side, guys, this is the Adidas Spring Blade. A lot of people are saying about this one that it was one of their worst releases. To be honest, I think that it's one of their most futuristic and one which had very good materials and a very nice design. To be honest, I think this is where they took a lot of inspiration for the Ultra Boost range. So this one was released back in 2013, so almost in the same time with the Pure Boost range, which I'm having it here. So I'll show you what exactly I have for the Pure Boost range. So it seems that the first Pure Boost was this 2014 release, which in my opinion it's still a great one. It still looks great after 9 years. I also have the next one, which dropped the following year. Mint condition. That's what happens when you have more than 50-60 pairs. So this one still perfect condition. Then I have also a lot of the Ultra Boost releases. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Ultra Boost 1.0, which I need to admit that I wore it a lot for 3 to 4 years. The midsole is almost gone, the outsole, sorry, but still great in one piece. I think the midsole started to yellow, so I made it black, but it's still perfect. At that time I loved the technology a lot, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy everything I can for the Ultra Boost. So I took the uncaged Ultra Boost in this color. I think I also have it in white, but that one unfortunately got yellowed where we have these fused materials. Doesn't look that bad, but I don't like it that much. I also have this NMD, which is a Gore-Tex as well. So this one again, it's perfect for the conditions here in the UK. Speaking of NMDs, I also have this collaboration with Pharrell Williams, if I'm not mistaken, which it's one of the most comfortable which I have into my collection. So this one dropped in 2020. I managed to get this one on outlet, half the price. Then Pure Boost 2018, great release. I really feel that the Pure Boost in general nowadays, it's not that good anymore. They kind of messed up this range. I still have a lot of them, like 3, 4, 5 releases from back in 16, 17, 18. At that time we also had the POD, which was trying to give us something different, some boost midsole, some foam, a very interesting upper. Still one of my favorite releases in my collection. Just after the pandemic, guys, we had a special edition SL. Not entirely sure how it's called, but this one again has some foam with some boost. If you don't like the normal SL, if you can find this one, it's a very nice one. Then the Adidas ZX 2K Boost. There were so many, but I just wanted this NASA release, which for sure looked quite nice. Of course, into my collection I need to have also some normal SL72s. This is a bit more luxurious. This is the normal one, but as I said earlier, these ones are a bit uncomfortable. So if you want a bit of comfort, go for the RS release. I also have a pair of Under Armour. I think this is called a Speedform 2.0. Wore them 2-3 times. And then we had this Adidas Commanda, which was a very interesting one. Nowadays I would say that this one looks like a pair of Y-3s. I like this one so much because it was quite wide, had a very futuristic design with this rubber covering most of these sides. So I bought these ones in 3 colors, in this salmon colorway, then in this black colorway, both of them having this very soft leather material. Then I also bought it in this purple one, which will have this suede, but this one I think it's going for sale. Of course, I also have another pair of Human Race Adidas. I think this is collaboration with Pharrell Williams, one of my favorite ones in my collection, which has a very sleek design, very soft and very comfortable, very lightweight. And I can finish the collection, guys, with this pair of Adidas, which again I have no idea what the model is called, but as you can see it's very simple. We're gonna have this perforated suede and some soft leather here at the front. So this one you can dress it up, dress it down, doesn't matter. I think I wore these ones 3-4 times, but very nice materials on this one, guys. So with that being said, let's go back to the studio. So besides these pairs, which you've seen, guys, today in my collection, I have another maybe 15 to 20 which are for sale. I really hope I can manage to just get rid of them. I really don't like them anymore. So yeah, guys, this was my big video with this full collection, which I've managed to gather in this 4 years of YouTube, plus another 5 or 6 prior to this. Most of them, unfortunately, I'm not wearing. As I said earlier, my day job doesn't allow me to wear nothing else besides a formal pair of shoes and a suit. But when I have the chance, I'm wearing maybe around 100 pairs. For sure, a lot of them are still in their boxes, or as you have seen earlier, the Jordans are, most of them, unworn. For sure, I will try to get rid of more than 50-60 pairs. I really feel that I don't need most of them. Most of them, anyway, I don't like them anymore. They are getting old. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, don't forget to press the like button. Maybe also subscribe to the channel. In the next couple of days, as I said earlier, I'm gonna drop my review for the top 10 most comfortable releases of 2024. Of course, if you want to have a look at any of my latest reviews, you can choose from any of the videos which you have now on the screen. And as always, I'll see you in my next one. Thanks for watching.